Trading is just like that. It's not meant for everybody, but you have to run your own business. You have to mind your own business, and you have to do things to make ends meet. And your ends are not the same as mine. They're not the same as 20 other people in the community. The people that don't want to have conversations like this and talk about these, this is the real world. This is what real trading is about. It's not pushing a button, winning. Hey, holla, up on Instagram, look at me. Here's my rented Lamborghini. My rent flat that I don't really live in. Come on. Here's my fake watches. I ain't gonna zoom in because you don't see it's fake. This is the same bullshit, man. You guys like all that stuff because it's entertaining. Well, I'm not trying to entertain you. I'm trying to turn you into a fucking monster where you go in there and you say, you know what? I don't give a shit if you fire me tomorrow. I don't give a shit if this business I work for closes the fuck down next week. I don't care. I'm feeding me and mine. There ain't nothing you're going to do to stop me from doing that. Period. Nothing you can say about it. I don't give a shit what influencer on the internet says anything about me. I'm still going in here and fucking kids. Nothing stopping that, and nothing stopping you as my student. Nothing. It's just air and opportunity between you and you getting that realization of that profit. That's it. That's the only thing separating it. But you have to make that move. And you can't do it just jump out there blindly. You got to have a structured approach to it. And you're all going to have a different approach. Period. What's your low threshold objective? It might be $500 a week. It might be $100 a week. You might be a stay-at-home mom. You don't need a whole lot. The husband's taking care of everything. You got a big nest egg, but you want to do this on your own. You want to contribute. You want to feel like you're bringing something to the table. You know what? That's admirable. And you might be thinking, all I have to do is make $100 a week and then let that grow and build up. Man, in 2 years, you could still be doing amazing returns if you let the compound effect take root. But you have to submit to that part of that time. That's why, again, I get back to working with a year of mentoring. Mentoring for a full year is crucial because you're going to feel all those factors of downtime when the markets are just simply not willing to give you anything. And you got to know what it looks like. What does it feel like? Can you even tolerate that? Because there's a lot of students that came through my fold that threw it in. And this is too hard. It's not working for me. And not listen to me, in my experience, saying we're in a period where it's not going to be high probability. Oh, he's always saying it's never high probability. Man, get the fuck out of here. I know when it's high probability. And I tell you, okay? And then when it is, it is. But if it's not, it's not. I can't make it not be high probability. Well, let's just say Warren Buffett would be wanting to talk to me. Okay? I'm not a billionaire. Okay? I'm not a billionaire. Point is, you have to know what you're doing this for, what limitations you have to place on yourself, and not have any reservations about why you're doing it, and adhere to it. So ends, what is it that for you, what makes your ends meet? What's that dollar amount that covers all your bills, all your expenses, all your entertainment? That number has to be a specific number. Then inside that total month expense, they're your total end. What's the lowest one? Maybe it's a better idea for some of you to start there. But you should be moving towards getting to the most expensive one. And I did a poll on Twitter, and I did a poll on my community tab on the YouTube channel. And I asked everyone, I said, what's your largest? I already knew it's going to be mortgage or rent. Okay, that goes without saying, but I just wanted to make sure I had the data to prove to everybody this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. But everybody understands that's going to be the largest expense. So what is your rent? What is your mortgage payment every single month? That's your largest expense. So you might start with the smallest bill, like a credit card or a utility bill or some kind of expense, like a car note. Not that $900 is a small car note, because it's, in my mind, even with the money I have, yeah, that's a lot of money for a car payment. Like, we're not talking about like a BMW. I mean, it's a Tacoma pickup truck. It's nothing special, but it's a note. It needs to be paid. So how do you go in and attack that? And then each time you get to that threshold of meeting some low-hanging objective in your ends that need to be met, so in other words, whatever the lowest bill is, you start there, and then you graduate towards what's the next bill. If you're making that money, work up to the largest expense, which is either rent or mortgage. And then once you have that, even if it's 50% of that, that's a huge weight off your shoulders and an encouragement to your, as a trader, you're encouraged. You don't need anybody else to tell you you're doing the right thing. You don't need anybody to give you an attaboy, attagirl, pat on the back. You feel it because you see it, like, I know I'm making this money. And while you're building up your account, you're telling yourself constantly, I'm consistently working towards this. And it's growing, it's building up. I'm not trying to get rich overnight, wealthy, trying to floss in front of everybody. This is not the time for that. You need to make sure that you have food in the house. You need to make sure that your bills are met, that your roof stays over you, your car stay running, stay fueled up, your health and health expenses are covered, clothing, your children's needs are met, daycare. Good grief. I'm sure you guys that have to pay for that are paying out your ass for that. What if that's covered in your trading and that's all you ever got out of it? Is that failure? Think about it, folks. If you got your children's costs covered every single month, but you still had to keep your job, is that failing in trading? Now, if you ask the 20-year-olds without kids, fuck yeah, that's you ain't living. You're failing, because that's their mentality. It's rich or nothing, and that's their youth. That's how I was too. You have to have everything, or you had nothing. But when you have you have children, a family to take care of, and you're participating in a family, a working family, perspectives and observations change and they mature. And those of you that are in those circumstances understand that, man, if you had just half your mortgage paid every single month, how much would that be off your back? That's all I'm suggesting here as a beginning point. It would be your full mortgage that you can pull out. But if you get anything that's not having to come out of your pocket from your job or your earned income, and you're having a secondary income from this, and I'm not promising it's going to happen for you, because this all relies on you doing it. But I'm trying to put the mindset together for you so that way you go in with the right perspective, because you have a skill set now. You have a model. It works, folks. Nobody's going to be able to come up here anywhere on social media, call me out. Call me out. I'm right here on Twitter. I can't hide from any comments. Everybody can talk to me. But you come to me with some stupid shit, I'm blocking you. Tell me what I'm doing is wrong, or show me what you got is better. Outline it beforehand. Don't just say, here's what I did yesterday. Here's the trades I took. Don't buy into that bullshit. You are here to learn how to trade. You've been taught. But now you need to know how to engage as a trader. So what do you start doing? You don't go out there going nuts. Don't think, I'm going to go out here and just kill it. Do the maximum effort. No. Reserved effort. Low-hanging fruit objectives. Don't try to do more than it's reasonable for you, because you're just now learning. You just got this weapon in your hands. You have to learn how to clean it, store it, carry it, and not blow your head off. Because that's what most people do. I had a lot of good meaning folks come through, pay me too, all the way up to month 11, and stop because they didn't want to listen. But everybody quit because they couldn't afford it. They just didn't want to listen. They know themselves. So why make that last payment, that charter member payment, because they just can't do it? Okay, they know themselves better than I do. But there's a lot of you that know yourselves better than I do and know that you want this. And you know that you have everything in your being is telling you you're going to do this. And ain't nobody out there going to tell you that you're not. That's my audience right now. That's who I'm talking to. Because if you're on the fence and you think somebody can influence you to talk you out of doing this or not using what it is I've taught, you're not my audience. You're not a student. You're just a casual observer. And you're never going to make it in any trading whatsoever because you're too influenced by other people. Someone that has been in my study, in my mentorship, in my teachings and lectures for at least 3 months. They've seen enough this year to know that there's absolutely something here that is worthwhile. It can be exploited in the marketplace. It's there. It's a real edge. It repeats. It's algorithmic. It's not random. And it's time specific, so that way you know when you're going to be operating. Think about this. All these businesses that are brick and mortar, okay, like a storefront, you go in there and you buy your shoes, buy your clothes. How do they know when sales are going to come in? They have sales reports and trends where certain times of the day, on certain days of the week, this is where we have a rush of customers usually. But there's no real guarantee that that's going to happen. You don't know if there's going to be customers coming into your business. In this business I've laid out for you, I've given you a business plan. Every single day, you're looking at the market between 8:30 and 11. That's your storefront hours. There's your business hours, okay? It's not a full day, and you're looking for something to happen. You're waiting for a customer to come through the door. That means you're watching to see when liquidity is getting taken. Okay? They took something off the rack, they're interested. Okay. You're standing at the register, make sure that sale's done. But they might change their mind. The market might run off, and they may put it back on the rack and leave. It's the same thing with this business. But you have to be there. You have to be in front of the market, waiting for that opportunity. You have to have the store open, or you're not going to make the sale. Every other business out there, they have all this overhead, all these costs, all these requirements for employees. You're the boss, you're the employee, you have operating hours. It's very easy, 8:30 to 11, boom, done. If a customer doesn't walk through the door, that means the setup doesn't come in, guess what? You didn't have to work hard for that day. You had to have the doors open, the lights on. And that's sometimes what trading's like. Just because your ass sits down in front of you and you're getting a trade, the market that. This is bullshit. I've been sitting here. It better give me an FVG. It better give me a fair value. It better. Somebody's ass is in a sling if it don't give me an FVG. It's funny reading some of you guys. Your expectations and entitlements ridiculous. It's funny, entertaining as shit, but it's unrealistic. It's crazy. But that's what trading's like sometimes. You could be ready to do it, and I'm not ready to do it. And you got to be okay with that. And no, guess what? Your model ain't broken. Your threshold, your 5 handles, is not too much. It's going to give it to you, just not that day or that session. Don't want to trade in the morning? Do you think it's too much volatility and uncertainty? Okay, no problem. Wait until after lunch. Use the PM session stuff I've given you. There's a lot of times the last 90 minutes of trading, that's the easy stuff. Because you can see what it's done in the morning, all that uncertainty, the bias is still in play, and the higher time frame daily chart is going to lead you to what? Where is it drawing to? And usually the last 90 minutes to 60 minutes, the algorithms really kick in, market on close orders start piling in, and boom, you get this real nice, easy, predictable market environment where liquidity is ran to. That could be your model. That could be your 5 handles if you're index trading. Now you have this skill set. You have this model. What do you do with it? Don't go out there thinking that you have to do above average returns or superhuman or Olympic level feats, because that's what it feels like in our community sometimes. It feels like everybody is expected to do ICT level precision, in and out, buy, long, sell, short, all the same day. That's not, I'm your teacher. I don't expect you to do that. That's not realistic. That's not reasonable. What I believe you should be doing is taking an inward look at how you have to live, because the way you live is not the same way I live. And 20 students of mine, they're going to have a amazing contrast between what they have to have each month. In some countries, very little is required, but where they're at, that little bit is a lot. And what they see is potential in the marketplace would literally make them kings or queens immediately. In other places, like in the United States where everything's extremely expensive, it takes a whole lot to elevate ourselves up to a point of affluence. But if affluence is your goal, then obviously I've given you enough to get that. You have to submit to the time to get to it. But having these unrealistic expectations and high, lofty profit objectives that you have to do every single day, every single week, come on. Nobody told you how to do that. I didn't tell you you had to do that. So I'm taking you back to square one. The same way I started on baby pips. 25 pips a week for Forex, or 5 handles a day, which is what? 25 handles a week in futures. That's a nice living if you let the compound interest do all the heavy lifting. What do you think happens when you get to a quarter of a... How much can you trade with that? And you're getting 25 handles a week? Do the math on it. That's the homework assignment for you, to figure out what's the lowest you can do. And if you just did the lowest and let compound interest do its job, not trying to get rich real quick, not trying to quit your job right now, I'm reminding you, you're working your job. You need to keep that. Every possible way of income right now, you need to be maximizing that and preparing your household and your family for rough times, buying extra stuff, canned goods, household wares, things that you're probably not going to be able to get in a couple months because you're just simply not going to be able to get it or afford it. And not be worrying about relying on your job, because you're going to be growing your business to replace that job. And that is a feeling of empowerment that I cannot articulate. No one can tell you what it really feels like. You can see everyone else do it and be encouraged, because they'll give you their testimony about how, oh yeah, I did this and I did that, and this is what it feels like. It doesn't resonate the same way until you have it done yourself. And when it happens, nobody's going to tell you wasted your time. No one's going to be able to tell you that. You're not going to hear it. You'd be, with me, just say, go fuck yourself. But you might be pleasant about it and say, I don't agree with that and I don't regret it. But for naysayers and people that want to talk down and discourage you, that pisses me off. Because really what they're trying to do is they're trying to steal joy. They're trying to steal legacy. Okay? They're trying to take that from you. And I'm working my ass off to make sure that you have that opportunity right in front of you. And I'm constantly reminding you, it's a real thing. It's really here. But it isn't going to just fall into your lap. It takes effort. It takes work. It isn't going to be positive every single time that you sit down in front of the charts. It isn't going to feel like a good, feel warm and fuzzy moment because you studied or back tested. Or you may take a trade, whether it's in demo or if you ever eventually go into live funds, it may not work for you. That doesn't change shit. This stuff still works. One losing trade or a series of losing trades does not make a model a failure. It just means that you did something wrong and you own it. Guess what that does? It frees you up to not worry about your model not being effective. It just means that you have room for improvement. All of us have room for improvement. I have room for improvement. I still fuck up and put typos and tweets I should stop and read before I hit the send button, but I don't give a shit. I push it. But then once I do it, my OCD kicks in. I wish I would have done it. So I'm human. I'm not AI. And the same thing with my trades. I sometimes exit just a little bit too soon. And if I just would have held on to it 1 or 2 minutes longer, it would have been a better, favorable thing for me. I wrestle with that all the time. So you're always going to have room to grow, to improve upon. None of us have it all figured out, and that includes me. If I was absolutely perfect, believe me, my ego would fucking show it to you. I would be out here flaunting it all the time. So if anybody else out there saying they got something better, they'd be out here doing that shit too. So you don't see it happening, so stop wasting time. Put your head in the charts. Stop worrying about dumb shit that isn't going to put anything in your pocket, isn't going to help you learn how to trade. Okay? Focus. We are a community of like-minded individuals. Okay? We're looking for the same thing in the market. Now, all of us are not going to trade it the same way. We're all going to do something different. We're looking at a different market all the time. I know a lot of you are still in Forex, and I'm focused primarily in index futures right now. But you're all able to see things, and I didn't take you to the chart. That should feel really good. That should feel real empowerment. But sometimes that doesn't feel enough. You feel like you got to be coddled. You got to have a little bit of a moment of, you're doing the right thing. You need to be validated. Stop looking to me to validate you. If you know what you looked for and it panned out in your chart, you do not need me to tell you you did well if it was a positive expectation at the end of it realized. You need me to tell you you did the right way? I understand it feels like it's too good to be true. I understand that. But stop looking for outward validation. Everything you need is going to be found by yourself, and grow comfortable with that solitude all by yourself doing it, because that's what the real world trading's like. As soon as you start putting time into allowing other people into your business, it's never a good thing, because nobody's volunteering labor for your trades. Okay, and they're not going to critique you the way that you think you should be critiqued. They're probably going to give you some bullshit because they probably said they've been in it longer than you. They made more money. They had more leverage. Their stop loss was smaller. This isn't the type of business where we sit down like in the cigar room and talk about how our businesses are doing really well and we all can snooty about it. This is an industry where everybody's pulling out their thing and measuring it all up. Okay, that's what it's all about. So don't invite it, because no matter what you say or even show, somebody else is going to go out there and say some bullshit and say they can do it better. And chances are 99% of the time they're not going to be able to prove it. They're just in there to get a rise out of you. And that little bit of time that you've wasted giving that attention, that could have been used to encourage yourself by going through your journal, looking at times when you did it right, because you might be going through a period of time where you're doubting that you are going to be able to do this. And that's why journaling is important. You have to know what it was like when you were doing the right things and what it felt like. That's what you record in your journal. Only the positive things. And when it's negative, you say, okay, this doesn't work. This didn't work here. I did this wrong, and I'm learning from it. See what I just did there? I acknowledge the fact that the responsibility was mine. I did something wrong, and I'm using it to learn how to improve and not hopefully repeat that same effect in my future trades.